Welcome. Find a comfortable position wherever you are right now. If you're lying down, let your shoulders drop a little. Let your jaw soften and just allow yourself to arrive here fully without rushing. You don't need to be anywhere else tonight. Whatever happened today, whatever you carried through the hours, you can set it down now. There's nothing left to solve, nothing left to decide. Just this. Just your breath and the sound of my voice and the quiet that waits for you just ahead. Tonight, I'm going to take you somewhere gentle. We're going to walk through a forest, a real, living, unhurried forest, just as the day is beginning to let go of itself. The light will be gold, the air will be cool and clean, and the path beneath your feet will be soft and well worn, as though it's been waiting for you. There's no distance to cover, no destination to reach. This walk has no purpose other than the walk itself. Take one slow breath in through your nose and let it go. Good. Let's begin. You're standing at the edge of the forest. Behind you is an open field, wide and still. The grass is catching the last warmth of the late afternoon sun. You walked across that field to get here, and your legs feel pleasantly tired in that soft, good way that comes after an easy afternoon spent outdoors. Not exhausted, just settled into your own body, just aware of the ground beneath you. The forest begins just ahead, where the light changes. It's not a dark forest. Even at the tree line, you can see how the light falls through the canopy in long amber shafts, the kind of light that only exists for an hour or so each evening, when the sun has dropped low enough to come in at an angle. It turns everything it touches a little warmer, a little more golden, as though the trees themselves are glowing from within. You take one step forward, and the air changes immediately. It's cooler here, just by a few degrees. The open heat of the field gives way to something softer, a greenness in the air, a dampness that isn't unpleasant, just earthy and alive. You breathe it in slowly. There's the smell of bark and old leaves and moss, the faint sweetness of something blooming nearby. You can't quite identify it, but it doesn't matter. It's just there, clean and faint, like a quiet reassurance. The path begins here. It's narrow, only wide enough for one person, and its surface is a mixture of packed earth and soft leaf litter. The leaves underfoot have been here long enough to lose their crispness. They're dark and soft, and they press down gently with each step, releasing a faint earthy scent as you go. There's there are tree roots crossing the path at intervals, round, smooth and with age, worn to a kind of polish by years of footsteps. You find them easily. Your feet know how to navigate them without effort. The trees on either side are tall, taller than you remembered trees could be, standing here among them. Their trunks are wide, some of them so wide you couldn't reach your arms around them, and their bark is rough and patterned, Some are pale silver gray, almost luminous. Others are deep brown with long vertical grooves, soft with patches of moss and pale lichen. The lichen grows in quiet little colonies, dusty green and gray, and sometimes a faint dusty orange, spreading slowly across the bark the way time spreads across everything it loves. Above you, the canopy closes in gently. The leaves are still thick. It's late in the season, but not yet autumn, and most of the green remains. Here and there, the leaf has started to turn, one showing a thread of gold at its edge, another gone soft amber at its tip, but mostly the canopy is deep layered green, with that warm amber light filtering through wherever the leaves allow it. You walk slowly. There's no reason to hurry. The forest is quiet but not silent. Forests are never truly silent, but this one is no exception. Somewhere above you, a small bird calls, a single clean note, repeating twice, then still. The leaves stir in a slow movement of air, not quite a breeze, more of a long exhale from the canopy, and you hear them shift against each other, a soft layered sound like a fabric settling. Somewhere further in, where the light deepens, you can find you can just make out the faint sound of moving water. It's a great it's a gentle sound, not rushing, just moving, and you find yourself drawn toward it without effort, the way you always move toward gentle things. You walk on. The path curves gentle to the left, and as it does, the trees open up just enough to let in a wider shaft of the evening light. You stop without meaning to. The light is extraordinary here. It comes in from a low angle through a gap in the canopy, a natural clearing where an old tree must have come down years ago and opened a window in the green overhead. Through that window, the sky shows its late afternoon color, a deep, clear blue, a kind of blue that only comes once the day has decided to end gracefully. And though that and through that blue sky, the sunlight pours down in a single broad column, catching every particle in the air, every small mote of dust, every seed drifting on a thread, and turning them to gold. You stand in the edge of that light. It's warm on your face and your hands and the front of your shoulders. Not harsh. Nothing in this about this light is harsh. It's the kind of warmth that asks nothing of you, that simply gives itself to you because you're here, because you've shown up, because that's enough. You tilt your face up slightly. You close your eyes for a moment. Just feel it. The warmth on your skin, the coolness of the forest air around you, the soft ground under your feet. The sounds are still there. The bird calling again from somewhere you can't see. The leaves, the water a little closer now. And underneath it all, a vast and patient quiet. The kind of quiet that doesn't press on you but simply holds you gently, the way sleep will hold you later. You open your eyes again. The path continues on through the clearing and back into the dappled shade beyond it. The ground here in the clearing is softer still, the leaf litter deeper, the moss spreading across the edges of the path in wide green cushions. You step on a patch of it without thinking. and it gives beneath your foot with a kind of gentle resistance, deeply soft, slightly damp, alive in the way that only living things are alive. You pause and press your foot down into it slightly, feeling it yield. There's something satisfying about that, something grounding. Near the base of the nearest tree, a small cluster of mushrooms has grown overnight, or perhaps over several nights, but they look new, and their caps still smooth and closed, a pale cream color with a faint brown edges. They're pushed up through the leaf litter at the junction of a tree root, neat and unhurried, as though they plan exactly this. You look at them for a moment. There's something wonderful about mushrooms, about the way they live mostly underground, mostly out of sight, doing their quiet, necessary work in the dark, and then one morning simply appear, already complete, already themselves. You move on through the clearing and back through beneath the canopy. The light here is filtered, layered, shifting slowly as the leaves move. Pools of it fall on the forest floor, not constant, but coming and going as the canopy breathes above you. When a pool falls on a patch of bright green moss, the moss seems to ignite, lit up from within for a few seconds, almost impossible green, and then the leaf overhead shifts, and the light moves, and the moss returns to its quieter self, still green, still beautiful, but softened. You watch this for a little while, the light moving, the patterns changing, the same forest, moment to moment, never quite the same twice. And all of it happening without effort, without intention, simply because the world turns and the wind moves and the light behaves like light. Your breathing has slowed, you notice, not deliberately, you haven't done anything. It simply happened, the way breathing always finds its own rhythm when you let it. In through your nose, slow and full, out through your mouth, soft and long. The air going in is cool and faintly sweet. The air going out carries the small tensions of the day. Let them go. The path carries you forward. You hear the stream before you see it. The sound has been there for a while now, growing slowly, so gradually you almost didn't notice it building. And now it's clear enough to follow. It's not loud. This isn't a river, nothing dramatic, just a small forest stream moving quietly over round stones, finding its way through the trees by the easiest route, the way water always does. The path dips gently, a soft slope downward, the kind you feel more in your knees and calves than when you see with your eyes, and then curves around a dense cluster of ferns that grow waist high at the path's edge, their fronds still bright green, still unfurling at their tips in those perfect spirals that ferns make, one of nature's quiet insistences on beauty. And there it is. The stream is perhaps 3 or 4 feet wide at this point, narrow enough to step across, though you don't need to. The path runs along its side it here, following its course for a stretch before they diverge again further on. The stream bed is visible through the water, round stones of all sizes, gray and brown and occasionally rust-colored, smoothed by centuries of passing water until they have no edges left. The water itself is very clear. In the shallow parts, You can see each stone distinctly, almost magnified by the water. In the deeper pools, small depressions where the current has carved out a little hollow. The water goes a faint clear blue-gray and the bottom disappears. You find a wide, flat stone near the bank and sit down on it. The stone is cool beneath you, not unpleasantly cold, just the natural cool of something that has been shaded all day, drawing the gentle heat from your legs. It's a good sensation, grounding and real. You watch the water. There's a particular quality to watching moving water, something deeply restful about it that goes beyond the visual. It's partly the sound, of course, the constant irregular music of the stream over its stones, a sound that never repeats exactly but never quite surprises you either. It falls into a rhythm that isn't a rhythm, varied enough to stay interesting, consistent enough to be calming. Your mind finds it and lets go. The water catches the light in small, flashing points, each one lasting less than a second, appearing and disappearing as the surface shifts. Where the stream passes over a section of particular smooth, shallow stone, it spreads wide and thin, and there the light plays across the surface in long, trembling patterns, rippling light cast upward from below, moving like something breathing. You watch it. Your eyes move with it, soft and unhurried, following the patterns without trying to understand them. A leaf falls from somewhere above, a single leaf, still mostly green but with a small thread of gold at its tip, and the lands on the surface of the stream. It spins slowly in the current for a moment, finding its balance, and then the water takes it gently, carries it forward round the small bend downstream and out of sight. You watch until it disappears. Then the surface is still again, only the light moving. A dragonfly appears, so suddenly it seems to materialize from the air itself, and hovers for a moment over a pool in the stream. Its wings are almost invisible with movement, just a shimmer, just a suggestion of wings, but its body is vivid and still, a deep metallic blue-green that seems impossible in this filtered light, too saturated to be real, as though it's lit from inside. It holds its position for 3, 4, 5 seconds, perfectly still in the air, turning slowly on some invisible axis, and then it's gone again, upstream, already somewhere else. You sit with the stream for a while longer. There's no reason to hurry away from this spot. The light is still good, the sound is still there, and the cool stone beneath you and the cool air around you and the sound of moving water all together create something that feels close to perfect, close to the particular peace that arrives when you stop trying to arrange anything and simply allow what's here to be enough. It is enough. It always was. When you're ready, you stand slowly, your legs warm and unhurried, and continue along the path as it follows the stream. After a while, the stream curves away from the path, its sound fading gradually until it's just a suggestion. Present if you listen for it, easy to forget if you don't. The trees here are older. You can feel it before you can articulate it. The way the air changes becomes a little heavier, a little more still. The trunks are wider here. Several of them are truly massive, ancient trees that have been standing since before your grandparents were born. since before their grandparents were born. Their bark deeply furrowed and colonized with lichen and moss in complex, beautiful patterns. Some have hollow places at their bases, dark interior spaces where small animals live. You pass one and notice just inside the hollow a dried leaf nest, perfectly formed, no larger than a cupped hand, pressed against the curved interior wall. Something small made that, something careful. The canopy here is very high. The lower branches are far overhead, and the light that reaches the forest floor comes down through a great vertical distance, arriving soft and diffused, without much warmth left in it, but still that amber quality, still gold at its edges. The forest floor in this old section is less cluttered, without enough light reaching the ground. The undergrowth is sparse, just moss and ferns in the damper pockets, and the occasional small plant pressing up against the leaf layer with quiet determination. The space between the trees feel open, cathedral-like. You find yourself slowing down without meaning to. There's a particular quality of attention that old trees demand. Not loudly, not insistently, just enough through the fact of their presence. They've been here so long. They've stood through seasons you haven't lived, through winters you can't imagine, through the slow accumulation of decades. And here they still are, still growing, still putting out leaves each spring, still dropping them each autumn, still reaching upward as though there's still something to reach for after all this time. You put your hand on the bark of one of them. It's rougher than you expected, deeply textured, almost sculptural under your palm, and cool and slightly damp with stored moisture. You can feel the slight irregularities in the bark, the ridges and the grooves, the small patches where the moss has taken hold. Underneath all that, beneath the bark and the wood and the rings of years, something is moving, slowly, upward. The tree is still working, still drawing water from the ground, still processing light into everything it needs, still doing, quietly, all the things it has always done. You take your hand away and continue walking. In this older section of the forest, the sounds are different. The bird calls are fewer here and more distant, as though the birds prefer the lighter, younger forest at the edges. But the sounds fill the space. The creak of a high branch somewhere overhead, a long, low wooden sound, like a door in an old house settling. The soft, irregular drip of water from a high leaf to a lower one, falling 3 or 4 levels before reaching the ground. The very faint, continuous sound that forest makes, too low to call a sound, almost a feeling, the collective breath of thousands of living things, present all around you, going about their lives. The path here is almost invisible in places, pressed down only slightly into the leaf layer, easy to lose if you weren't paying attention. But you don't lose it. Something in you knows the way. Some quieter parts of you that you don't think you need to navigate, that simply follows what feels right, that has always known how to find the next step. You trust it. You walk on. The old trees give way gradually, their density easing, their trunks growing more spaced, and then, all at once, the path opens into a small clearing. It's not large, perhaps 20 feet across, roughly circular, but after the dim vertical whirl of the old forests, it feels expansive, generous. The sky overhead is visible again, a deepening blue now, the blue that comes after the gold begins to leave it, the blue that belongs to late evening and nothing else. The light in the clearing is the most beautiful you've seen today. The sun is low, very low now, just above the tree line at the far edge of the clearing, and its light comes in horizontally, flooding the clearing with a deep amber warmth. Everything the light falls on becomes more itself. The grass at the clearing's edges is a green so vivid it looks lit from beneath. The bark from the surrounding trees is a warm, rich brown. The small wildflowers growing in scattered clusters near the tree line, purple and pale yellow and white, hold their color as though they're trying to keep it, as though they know the light is leaving. You walk to the center of the clearing and stop. The grass is longer here, ankle height, soft and slightly bent, already damp with the first touch of evening dew. Your feet press it gently down with each step. You stand in the middle of it and feel the ground beneath you, the soft resistance of the earth, the give of the grass roots, the solid realness of the world beneath your feet. You look up. The sky is doing something extraordinary. The deep blue of the upper sky bleeds downward toward the horizon, softening through a blue-gray and then a pale gold, and then at the tree line, a band of soft orange-pink, the color of something warm cooling, the color that belongs to the end of things that ended well. A single star is already visible, high up in the blue, not quite bright yet, just present, just beginning to establish itself for the evening. You watch it for a moment. It doesn't move, it simply shines. Around the clearing's edge, in the deepening shade of the trees, the first fireflies are beginning. Just two or three at first. Small, soft pulses of pale gold light, blinking slowly, moving in long, drifting arcs just above the grass. Each pulse lasts a second, then fades, and then reappears a foot or two away, as though the light is breathing. As you watch, more begin. 5, then 10, then more than you can count. There are soft lights appearing and fading and appearing again in the dim spaces beneath the trees, turning the forest edges into something quiet and magical. You stand in the clearing and watch the fireflies, and the sky above you deepens slowly. There's a feeling that comes in moments like this, a feeling that's hard to name because it isn't quite any single thing. It isn't happiness exactly, though it contains happiness. It isn't peace exactly, though it contains peace. It's something closer to a sense of being exactly where you are, fully here, fully present, not ahead of yourself or behind yourself, but simply occupying this moment completely, without apology, without effort. Just here, just this. You breathe slowly. The air is cooling now. The warmth of the sun left in the clearing is beginning to ease away, and the evening air, cooler, slightly damper, moves in from the trees. You feel it in your on your arms and face. It isn't cold, it's the temperature of rest. The star overhead has brightened, and a second one now is visible beside it. And above the tree line to the east, already fully in shadow, a faint smudge of deeper blue marks the leading edge of the night. But you aren't ready to leave yet. not quite yet. You turn eventually and begin to walk back to the forest. The path is different now, not because anything has changed, but because the light has changed, and in the changing light, everything else has changed along with it. The amber shafts of late afternoon are gone. What remains is a softer, more diffuse light, an even blue-gray light of early evening, which flattens shadows and makes the forest feel both very close and very spacious at the same time. The colors have settled. The vivid green of the afternoon moss is now a quieter, muted green, still beautiful, still absolutely itself, but less urgent. The bark of the trees has deepened to gray-brown. The path ahead is just visible, enough to follow without effort. You walk slowly. Your body feels pleasantly tired in a way that's different from how you arrived. When you first stepped into the forest, the tiredness was the tiredness of the day, the specific weight of everything you'd been carrying, all the small and large demands that accumulate between walking and now. This tiredness is different. This is tiredness of having been outside, of having walked and breathed and been in the world. A clean tiredness, an honest one that sits in your legs and your shoulders and the back of your neck, not as weight but as warmth. Your eyes are soft, not struggling to see, just soft, taking in the forest without trying to organize it, without naming things or categorizing them. Just shapes and shadows and the occasional slow movement of a leaf. Just the path ahead of you, clear enough. You pass through the old forest again, and the ancient trees are even more beautiful now, their forms more mysterious in the dimmer light, their hollows deeper, their high branches indistinguishable from the sky. One of them has a large fungal bracket growing from its trunk at shoulder height, pale on its surface, cream white, almost luminous in the evening light. You notice it the way you notice things when you're very relaxed, without commentary, without anything attached to the noticing. Just it's there, and it's beautiful. The stream returns to the path, or the path returns to the stream, and you hear it again before you see it. The same easy, constant sound, unchanged from earlier, unconcerned with the passage of time. You walk beside it for a while without stopping, just listening, letting the sound accompany you the way good company accompanies you, without needing anything from you, simply being there. The ferns at the path's edge have closed slightly in the cooling air, their fronds drawing in just a little, the way things do when the temperature drops. A moth, pale and almost white, moves in a slow spiral above the path ahead of you, its wings catching the last blue light, appearing and disappearing as it turns. You watch it for a moment, and then drifts off into the ferns, and you continue. Your thoughts, you notice, have changed. Earlier, even just an hour ago, they had that quality that thoughts get when you're tired and stressed. Insistent, circular, the same ground covered again and again. But now they're different, quieter, less urgent. They come and go without catching, like leaves on the surface of the stream, moving past without snagging on anything, continuing downstream, disappearing. You don't need to follow them. You don't need to do anything with them. They come and they go. And underneath them, beneath the thoughts and the images and the small residues of the day, there's something else, something steady, a quiet that was always there, that was always underneath everything, that you just couldn't hear until now. It's been waiting patiently. It always waits patiently. You breathe in, you breathe out. The forest opens ahead. You can see the tree line, the place where the forest ends and opens fields again begins. And beyond it, the sky. It's much darker now, that sky. The orange and gold has left entirely, and what remains is a deep, rich blue, the blue of a sky that has made its peace with the ending of the day. Stars are appearing properly now, not one or two but many, scattered across the blue in their slow, patient clusters, present as they always are, visible as they only become when the light finally steps aside. You slow down as you approach the tree line, not because you're reluctant to leave, just because something in you wants to take this in fully, wants to be here, in this moment, at this threshold, still in the forest, still within the cool and quiet of the trees, but with the open sky just ahead, the stars already out, the night already beginning its long, calm work of covering the world in darkness. Behind you, the forest is settling. The day birds have gone silent. In their place, other sounds are beginning. The first tentative calls of nighttime creatures, just starting their shift. An owl, very far off, its call muffled by distance and trees. A cricket, then another, then a low chorus building slowly from the grass at the field's edge. The soft, irregular sound of things moving in the undergrowth, in the darkness under the trees. The forest at night is a different world, not frightening, just different, alive with different things, busy with different work. You exist at the edge of it right now, belonging to both. You step out from under the last trees. The field is blue-gray in the starlight. The grass very still. The air cooler out here from the trees. Your feet move through the damp grass toward whatever home is. Somewhere ahead, somewhere warm and soft and waiting for you. You don't have to think about how to get there. You know the way. You've always known the way. Above you, the sky is vast. More stars than you could count in a night. More stars than you believe could exist on a night this clear, layer after layer of them, and closer ones, sharp and bright, and more distant ones dissolving into a faint, continuous glow at the edges of the dark. They don't ask anything of you. They don't need you to see them or name them or understand them. They just shine. They just do what they've always done. You slow your walk. The grass is soft beneath you. The air is cool and still, and the smells of the field, green and slightly sweet and very clean. The sounds of the forest are receding behind you, growing softer with each step, the way sounds do when you move away from them, gradually, gently, without drama. You feel the evening settle around you, not as something outside you, not as something separate, but as something that includes you, that you're part of. The cooling air, the darkening sky, the quiet of the field, the stars overhead, and you walking slowly through the middle of it, simply present, simply here. Your eyes are heavy, not from effort, just from the natural earned heaviness that comes at the end of a day that was lived fully. The kind of heaviness that means the day is done and the body knows it. And what the body is asking for now is rest. You let your pace slower even further, each step a little slower, each breath a little deeper, each moment stretching gently out like the last light of the evening, not holding on, just expanding, making most of what remains. Somewhere ahead of you is rest. You're moving toward it now, not quickly, not with any urgency, just moving in the direction of warmth and softness and sleep. The field narrows. The path you've walked before is beneath your feet. The grass parts easily for you, the way things do when you know where you're going. Your body is very heavy and very warm now. Not the warmth of the afternoon sun. The warmth has passed, but your own warmth. The warmth your body makes and holds. The warmth that waits for you always at the end of the day when you finally stop and let yourself feel it. Your mind is very quiet, not empty. Minds are rarely empty, but quiet in the way a room is quiet when the people who love you have stepped out for a moment, when the house is settled, when there's nothing on the stove, nothing waiting, nothing old, just the soft residue of a day lived, just the comfortable company of your own thoughts, gone gentle. You think briefly of the forest, the amber light in the clearing where the canopy opened, the stream and its stones, the dragonfly hanging in the air above the pool, the ancient trees with their hollows and their bark and their impossible patience, the fireflies beginning at the edges of the small clearing as the sky deepened above, the moth, pale as paper, turning in the blue evening light above the path. All of it is still there. All of it is continuing. The stream moving, the fireflies blinking, the stars appearing above the clearing, whether you dare to see it or not. That thought is comforting. The world going about its gentle work in the dark. You are somewhere soft now, somewhere warm, somewhere where the air is still and the sounds are few, and the only thing asked of you is this: to let go, finally, completely, and let sleep come. Your body is sinking gently, your shoulders are down, your hands are loose, your jaw is soft, your breathing is slow, in through your nose, out through your mouth, and deeper and longer with every cycle. The forest is still with you. It comes in the smell of the cool air, in the memory of the soft ground beneath your feet, in the sound, faint, imagined, but present, of the stream over its stones, moving continuously, moving somewhere it needs to be. Let that sound be with you now. Let it carry you. The trees are standing in the dark. The stream is still moving. The fireflies are still finding each other across the clearing. The stars are out over the open field. The old trees are standing still in their ancient patience, doing their slow and necessary work. And you are here. You are here and you are safe. And the night is doing what nights do, settling, deepening, filling with quiet. And all you need to do is let yourself sink into that quiet. Let go of the day. Let go of the morning and the middle of the day and the afternoon and the walk through the field and the path into the forest and everything that came before this moment. All of it done. all of it behind you, all of it complete. Breathe in and breathe out. The forest is breathing with you. The trees, the ferns, the moss, the stream, the old hollow trunks and the new soft leaves, all of it breathing slowly in the dark. You are part of that breath. You have always been part of it. Sleep is very close now. You can feel it, the edges of it, the way the world softens as its perimeter of your attention, the way sounds become less distinct, the way the boundaries between yourself and the surrounding darkness begins to ease. This is the threshold. This is the place where the waking world releases its hold and something older and quieter takes you in. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to try. Trying is the last thing you need. Just breathe. Just let the forest hold you, the memory of it, the feeling of it, the smell of bark and wet leaves and the evening air, and letting it carry you the rest of the way. The stream is still moving. The stars are still out. The night is long and soft and entirely on your side. Sleep now, gently, deeply. The forest is here with you. Rest. The trees are standing. The stream is moving. The night is quiet.